Hey everybody, so LG just announced two phones at MWC here in Barcelona, one of which was the LG G8, which we all expected, but the second, LG V50, caught all of us by surprise because the LG V40 just came out like 4 months ago. So both phones look very similar at first glance. They both have OLED display panels, very similar in size. They both have that same notch that we've seen 100 times already. And around the back, they both have the same triple camera setup. Although new this year is that LG put a piece of glass over the camera modules. You know, usually on phones, the camera module goes over the glass. On the V50 and the G8, the glass goes over the camera. So that means the back of the phone is almost completely smooth, other than the fingerprint sensor below the camera. You know, both phones look very nice, but they don't look jaw-dropping like there's phones we've seen before. But of course, there's more to the phones than just looks, and LG has built something specific for each of the two devices. So let's start with the V50. It is a 5G phone. It runs on Qualcomm Snapdragon X50 modem, so that's like a direct competitor to Huawei's Balong 5000. But whatever, the reality is most people watching this, including me, won't be able to use 5G anytime in the immediate future. Probably 5G rollout won't happen until late 2019. For most people, 5G won't even be a thing until 2020. What's more exciting about the V50 are these pogo pins on the back of the phone that allows you to attach a second screen attachment. So once you snap on the second screen, now you can use the V50 kind of like a folding phone, but the more traditional older style with two separate display panels instead of the, you know, cutting edge single screen that bends in half like the Samsung Galaxy Fold or the Huawei Mate X. But the upside to the V50's more traditional two-screen design is that the phone's a lot more usable. Because as I mentioned, Huawei and Samsung, even though they have the new cutting-edge phone, they were not confident enough to let journalists and users touch the phone. We were only able to watch it in action. We weren't able to use it ourselves. Probably because the software is very janky and just the single screen's a little bit fragile right now, I think. So now with the V50, I got to play with those two screens, and everything works fine so far. You can open two apps side by side. You can switch between apps by swiping on the screen with 3 fingers. Everything ran pretty smoothly. I particularly like that you can use one of the screens as a virtual gamepad for gaming. So there are other uses too, such as the ability to take photos with one screen while previewing the photo you just took with the other screen. So another big improvement to the V50 is battery capacity. And you now have a 4,000 mAh battery inside the V50, which is a huge jump from the V40, which had a 3,400 mAh, I think, and that was a weakness of that phone. Now moving on to the LG G8, this phone doesn't support 5G and it doesn't have the pogo pin, so you can't snap that second screen on there. Instead, LG gave the G8 a front-facing TOF camera. So TOF stands for time of flight. I've talked about this several times already. It's basically a 3D scanner. It shoots lights out and then measures the time it takes for lights to come back to the sensor, and just from that they can tell the 3D depth of the subject is shooting at. So with that front-facing TOF camera, the G8s are able to offer real 3D face unlock, you know, similar to what the iPhone can do, and a lot better than the flat 2D face unlock offered by older LG phones or on like the OnePlus 6T, for example. But of course, LG is known to try crazy ideas. So of course, the TOF camera doesn't just scan your face, it also scans your palm. Not just your palm, but the veins inside your palm. So now why would you want to do that? It's like another method to unlock the phone. It's like another biometric identification. LG says that each person has a unique vein pattern inside your palm, just like how we have different fingerprints. So with that, LG says the camera on the G8 can scan your vein pattern and identify you. So if I register my palm, other people's palm cannot unlock the phone. Now, why would you want to unlock a phone with your palm? It sounds gimmicky, but I can actually see real world usage to this. So for example, I work a lot on a desktop because, you know, I'm a writer. So a lot of times I'll be on a computer typing and I'll have my phone on my desk next to me. If I'm using an iPhone 10, if I want to unlock, it's a hassle. I usually have to lean over and put my face over the phone to unlock, because otherwise it can't scan my face, or I have to swipe and then wait and then do the pin input, which takes like 3-4 seconds. I can just hover my palm over the LG G8 and it will unlock in about 1 second. LG also built in these specific hand gestures to allow you to control features of the phone, such as adjusting volume and opening certain apps and even answering phone calls. So again, I can see usage for this. So for example, if I'm cooking and somebody's calling me, I can just hover my hand over the phone to unlock, and then hover my hand over it and do a hand gesture to take the phone call instead of needing to touch the phone with my greasy ass hands. Oh yeah, and this is ridiculous. LG says the G8 is smart enough to know when your hand is attached to your body. So that means if someone chops off my hand and take my hand and hover over my LG G8, it won't unlock the phone. At least I think. I'm not going to try this out. So LG G8 also uses piezoelectric speakers underneath the screen. So that means sound will blast through the screen via vibrations. This is something we've seen on the Meizu Zero, which I tested. And I tested the LG G8 version too, and it's a lot better than Meizu Zero's version because overall volume is louder, and I didn't hear any distortion when I listen to bass. There's also a bottom fine speaker grills too, so you can have sound coming out of both the bottom and the screen for a full sound. There's also a headphone jack, of course, with the quad DAC that LG's been putting in the phones for a few years now. So I don't have pricing or release info on the LG G8 or the V50 yet. When I get those, I'll put it in the description below. I'm definitely going to have more on these two devices, so stay tuned if you're interested. And in general, if you're interested in knowing more about upcoming products, please subscribe to my channel. And I also have a new website. The website is called Nick's Gadget Up. So the site is just nicksgadgetup.com. On that website, I'll be writing features and reviews of phones I already test. It will be different from the YouTube videos because I'll go a little bit more in depth and show more photo samples, all of that, because writing as a medium is different from video. So if you're interested, please check the site out. I have a Twitter account that you can follow that too. So thanks for watching.